The following program is being brought to you on the Seventh Wave Network. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit seventhwavenetwork.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Your Soul with Lisa Ouellet. If you're ready to make personal changes in your life and the lives of those around you, get ready for an hour of encouragement, enlightened guests, and engaging stories. Now, here is your host, Lisa Ouellet.
Welcome to Empowering Your Soul. Today is 10/10, October 10th. So excited today to be doing a show on crystals. I have two guests with me today, Tara Mideaker and Lourdes Lebron of healingcrystals.com. We're going to be doing a show all about crystals, and it's such an important topic to me, and I'm so passionate about it. I'm so happy to have them on as guests today. However, I would like to take a quick moment to thank my guest last week, Debbie Raymond-Panett. And she's part of she's the unknown, and we are doing that pilot together when we're talking about the show. And the unknown had such a lot of positive feedback about the show, and I'm hoping that people will be purchasing tickets and coming to some of our events. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for everybody that wrote in and shared with us that information. Thank you. Today, though, very passionate show. Like I said before, I'm very into the crystals and the gemstones. I have two ladies with me, Tara Mideaker and Lourdes Lebron. They're both from healingcrystals.com. Tara is a contributing writer to Healing Crystals with a passion for working with crystals. Besides using them for healing and divinatory purposes, she enjoys discovering innovative ways that they can enhance her everyday life. She's an accomplished tarot reader, and astrology is prominent among her many interests. She has practiced Reiki for over 5 years, loves to take day trips to unusual places, and her favorite thing to do is just hang out with her son and her cat. She can be reached through the Healing Crystals website at healingcrystals.com and through Facebook at www.facebook.com/crystaltalk. And Lourdes Lebron is a crystal healer, Reiki master, intuitive, and writer. She's a crystal expert for healingcrystals.com. And along with Tara, she teaches about crystals through the Healing Crystals YouTube channel. Her websites are Rest, Relaxation, and Reiki, and Readings Reaffirming and Reassuring. They bring comfort and healing grace to people worldwide through Reiki videos and intuitive readings. She's been fascinated with crystals since childhood and has been using them in her healing and psychic work for many years. Lourdes is also the Sales and Promotions Director at healingcrystals.com. And today our show is called Using Crystals to Realize Your Potential for Joy. So we're going to talk today in an episode description. It is, have you ever wondered if a particular crystal could help you with an issue in your life? Well, today we're going to talk with Lourdes and Tara, and they're going to share with us which healing crystals should be used for physical issues and ailments, emotional issues, spiritual issues, and how they can influence and improve all areas of our life. We're also going to learn about the metaphysical healing properties of different crystals and find out about if certain ones are transmitters and just more information. I know some can focus and transmit subtle electromagnetic energy. We're going to learn how to incorporate intuition into choosing which crystal is best for each individual healing use. And questions after the show from listeners can be sent. There's a link at the bottom on the episode show description, and a crystal expert will answer them. And it's www.healingcrystals.com/contact_us.php. And I believe there's a special discount code there that you can use to give you the user 10% off and a free large or medium large tumbled leopard skin jasper. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Hi, thank you.
Hi. So I have Tara and Lourdes with us. So they're both crystal experts, and we're here to learn all about crystals today. So I guess the title of the show is Using Crystals to Realize Your Potential for Joy. So I guess I would ask first, is there a particular crystal that there is used to help realize our potential for joy, or is there just any certain one?
You know, I pretty much believe that any crystal is going to make your life better, and it's going to make you happier and more joyful. There's certain crystals. I mean, every crystal has certain qualities. The darker crystals are more protective, and obviously, if you feel more protective, you're going to feel protected. You'll feel happier. The clear crystals, like a clear quartz or a selenite, they're very high vibrational, and those can, help you receive messages that can bring you some joy and that kind of thing. So it's really, I wouldn't say that there's one particular one, at least not for me. I find that all of them just improve the quality of my life.
Yeah, for me, I like certain colors. I vibrate more to certain colors, so that makes me happier. Do you, and as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the crystals that I have from your crystal website, and I have all the 7 chakra crystals laid out in front of me, so I'm excited about that. They're so pretty. All the 7 beautiful colors.
They are lovely. And I agree with Tara about the crystals, because I have a moonstone, which you may not typically think of being joyful as being one of my happiest crystals, and it makes me feel so good to wear it. Whereas I have some sunstones, which are typically known to bring more joy and vibrancy to your life, which actually make me feel more peaceful. So it really depends on the crystal itself and how it reacts to your energy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everybody's different, and every crystal is going to have a different reaction, and you're going to have a different reaction to the crystal.
Right. And that's true, because I've been into places with my friends before, and we're both going towards different crystals. Neither one of us are attracted to the same stone. So I guess it's our own soul is being pulled in one direction to whichever one resonates or vibrates within us. So
I also like to think that the crystals choose us.
There you go.
I think that when we're open to their energy, that when your face, if you're looking at our website with however many crystals we have on our page, you're going to be drawn to the crystal that is calling to you because it knows that it can help you.
That's true. That's a good point, too. So are we using our intuition in that aspect, or is the crystal calling to us because of some sort of metaphysical property?
I think it's a little of both. I think our soul recognizes what it needs, and the crystal itself, all of a sudden, it's ignited. That's the way I'd like to put it.
Yes, that's good. Or awakened. That's how I always think about it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, and what I was going to say is what I do a lot of times, if I find that is happening to me when I'm on the website, when I'm placing an order, I will say, please pick a crystal with this intention in mind or my goal in mind. And that's how our pickers actually go around and choose crystals for people. They go by, if somebody writes a note, they will choose especially for that intention.
That's good. That makes a lot of sense, too. So you have to kind of trust that you're putting the message out there to Spirit, and that your intention is you're going to get the right stone that's meant for you specifically.
Yes.
I like that. Now, one of the questions I had, I know a lot of the callers and the listeners and the people out there, they're asking a lot of times if there's a particular stone that they could use to help them get to a more spiritual place. So I know I always tell people, my go-to stone is amethyst for that. I know that there's many others, but a lot of people use amethyst. Do you guys suggest a different stone for people, the spiritual listeners out there wanting to get to a higher place?
Go ahead, Lourdes. I already know what you're going to say, so go for it. Lourdes' favorite crystal. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I know. It's selenite. Yes.
I love selenite, too.
That's a funny joke at Healing Crystals, that if Lourdes runs across the selenite, forget it, it's hers.
It's going home with her, yeah?
It is. And for me, selenite does work well with that. And another crystal I like to work in conjunction with selenite is Herkimer diamonds.
Ah, yes.
They also help raise the vibrations. And, of course, you have the higher vibrational ones, like the phenakite, the azeztulite. There are a lot of other ones that can also be. But it depends on the person, because although we may find these high vibrational, there may be another crystal, maybe a moss agate, that'll do it just as well.
Okay. Yeah,
See, Lisa,
Herkimer
I'm
Diamond,
with you.
I like that one.
I like amethyst.
Yeah.
But recently I've been working a lot with rutilated quartz, too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
a good one.
familiar with
I
that
like
one.
the combination of crystals. I like to work with ametrine a lot, too, which is a combination of amethyst and citrine.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
What about I just lost it in my head. I'm thinking, what about amber? Is amber good for raising you up to a spiritual place or getting your intuition going?
Well, I'm wearing amber right now because
too.
it's very good for releasing any built-up energy blockages. So
Okay.
if you're trying to raise yourself up, you first need to release whatever's keeping you from achieving that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So amber is a perfect one to wear.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. I have a pretty amber butterfly on. I like it. Okay. And what about, let's see, I know the big question from people usually is, bringing them to a spiritual vibration, raising them up that way. What about protection? Is there a particular crystal? And I know I get what you're saying, that each person is different, but for the listeners out there wondering if there's a particular crystal that will help them with protection if they have emotional issues going on. What about emotional issues? What would help from that?
Tara, I'll let you answer that one.
I personally, my preference is black obsidian. I also like mahogany obsidian. Just about anything in the obsidian family I find makes me feel very safe and protected and peaceful. I think another really great protective crystal, and especially I find for emotional, is onyx, a black onyx, okay. which is actually a very traditional stone. I mean, if you go back throughout history, onyx was used for protection in that, by high priestesses and all kinds of in all kinds of cultures. So those are my particular favorites. And black tourmaline, you could never go wrong with. Black tourmaline is very protective.
Okay, so a lot of the black stones seem to be the ones to help you with the protection and the emotional issues.
Well, it really, and it's interesting because you said you had in front of you the chakra crystals.
Yes.
When you're looking for protection, you want to look to your root chakra, because that's what's going to make you feel safe and protected, that feeling of home, of being grounded, of being protected. So anything that you feel works well with your root chakra is going to make you feel more emotionally balanced. Garnet is a lovely crystal for the root chakra, and it is also excellent to balance your emotions. I also like ruby for that. Again, I mentioned mahogany obsidian. Mahogany obsidian is a little bit gentler than the black obsidian, so that works really well for the emotional.
So that would be a red stone?
It's a brownish, reddish, blackish stone.
Okay. Uh-huh. And Lourdes, what do you think about that?
Well, I agree with everything Tara said. And another one that I find very protective for me is golden tiger eye.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Okay.
That I find very protective, especially since, for me, usually my solar plexus is where I start feeling the energies. Uh-huh. By wearing that, it brings in not only the yellow jasper, and it brings in the hematite. Uh-huh. It is very grounding and protective. And it can't go wrong because it also works on the solar plexus. Right. Hematite is another one.
And hematite is good for grounding, right?
Yes, it is grounding and protective. Both are. Abrasiated jasper is grounding and protective. Like Tara said, think of the root chakra. That is where you need the protection coming in from.
Okay. Now, would listeners be wearing, if it's the root chakra, would they be wearing anklets of this? I mean, would that help them to wear like one of those stones around their feet to ground them a little bit better that way?
I personally find that it doesn't have to be on the chakra. It doesn't even have to be near the chakra. I mean, my basic daily go-to crystals are bracelets. I usually wear about 6 or 7 bracelets a day of different crystals, which pretty much I follow my intuition, what's going on that day, how the energy feels to me, that kind of thing. So if you're wearing, a red jasper bracelet, you're still going to feel that grounding in your root. You can even, root chakra, you could even be carrying it in your pocket or in your pocketbook or something like that. The energy will go where it's needed.
Well, that makes sense, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to suggest that if you are very ungrounded, and a lot of people who are very spiritual are, wearing the anklet is a good idea.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wearing it, and I agree with Tara. I carry them with me on me, and I like jewelry as my main method of carrying the energy with me. But when I'm really ungrounded or any member of the family, the anklets go on immediately.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. I mean, I agree with both of you ladies. I'm just thinking that for extra added protection, that I would put anklets, bracelets, necklaces, rings, walk around with every crystal you can on your body, right? Well, so, and just before we go to a commercial break quickly, what about grounding? I know we just talked about that, but is there another stone specifically that would help to ground? Hematite is my go-to grounding stone, so that's the one. That's really the only one that I ever use for grounding. So I'm wondering myself if there's a better stone.
Well, I know for me, brown tourmaline, which is also called dravite, can be extremely grounding. I could feel the energy just being pulled just from that one. And, shungite is another one.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Shungite is also very grounding and protective.
And these are all stones that people can get from your healingcrystals.com website, right? You have you have the tumbled stones, and you have the cut and polished crystals. You have the crystal jewelry, and natural crystals and quartz points that you sell, correct?
Yes, we have it all, and Tara and I are a testament to that.
I know that.
A lot of it's in our homes.
Yes.
It must be tough to work in a place that you want everything, right?
It is challenging, believe me, and I have a list, and my cart is extremely long.
That's funny. Well, so if anybody listening in, if you are looking to hear more about healingcrystals.com, their social media, they're all over the social media. You can catch them on Facebook. They have a YouTube channel. They're on Tumblr, on Twitter, Instagram, Google+, Pinterest, word search. There's so many different places that you can find them. If you go to the healingcrystals.com website, I believe you'll be able to find them there. And there'll be links to all the places that you can catch up with them and hear more information. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
This is the Seventh Wave Channel on the Voice America Network.
Lisa Ouellet is honored to assist you as you move forward from imprisonment to empowerment. Individual intuitive sessions are available in person, by telephone, or via Skype. Visit www.lisaouellet.com. While there, you can also find information about 1-hour and half-hour Reiki sessions, life coaching, and tuning into your intuition classes. These classes will help you learn to trust your intuition and tune into yourself more easily. Mention that you heard about us on Empowering Your Soul and receive 10% off your next session. Visit lisaouellet.com today.
These days, everyone is looking for information on staying young, healthy, and fit. The Voice America Health and Wellness Network is here to help you on your quest to better health and a better you. We talk about everything from diet, fitness, and aging to substance abuse, personal growth, mental health, and much more. Learn from our experts who cover health and wellness from traditional and holistic perspectives. Tune in to the Voice America Health and Wellness Network. Healthy living starts here. The Voice America Seventh Wave Channel.
You are listening to Empowering Your Soul. To reach Lisa Ouellet, you may send an email to lisaouellet@comcast.net. That's lisaouellet@comcast.net. Now, back to Empowering Your Soul.
Welcome back to Empowering Your Soul. If you're just tuning in, today we're doing a show on healing crystals, how using crystals to realize your potential for joy. Talking with Lourdes and Tara of healingcrystals.com. And right before the commercial break, we were talking about some different ways to we were talking about spiritual stones and how to get to that spiritual place and how to grounding stones and for protection. So I think in this next section, in the next segment of the show, I'm going to have them share with us how to use them, how to clear them, how to use them in grids and so forth. So welcome back, ladies.
Hi.
So, if you would share with the listeners out there, maybe how would you clear your crystal? What would be a good way to clear crystals?
Lourdes, you want to go first?
Okay. My favorite method of clearing crystals is moonlight. Mm-hmm. Because with moonlight, you don't have to worry about which ones will get damaged with the water, which ones will fade, which one can get hurt. All you have to do is put them on a windowsill that gets moonlight and leave them out when there's a full moon. And, of course, that's when it's strongest, but you can leave them out during the entire month, and they will still receive the moonlight's energy.
Now, can I ask you this? Somebody told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, I'm not the expert, but somebody told me the night before the full moon is the best, is a better time than the actual full moon. Do you know if that's true?
I believe that it's the 3 days before the full moon and the 3 days after that are all strong. Okay. I personally like the night of the full moon, but I'm very happy 3 days before and 3 days after.
Okay.
And also the new moon energy is also excellent for clearing your crystals.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Setting intention. I know that I believe Lourdes likes to use the full moon to clear them of past energies, and then the new moon to charge them up with intention.
Yes.
But either one, follow your instincts. Either one is excellent at or any of the quarters in between, whether it's waxing or waning. I mean, the moon just has so much potential.
And if you're not, I'm in New Hampshire. You ladies are in you're in the Carolinas, right?
New Jersey.
You're in New Jersey. Okay, my mistake. I'm sorry. So you're close to New Hampshire, New Jersey. You got the same kind of weather as we do. So a lot of times in the winter you can't go outside. So you're saying it's okay to just put them in the windowsill, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have to put them outside. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Windowsill, and we have a lot of customers who tell us they put them in the back seat of the cars or in the front, not the back seat of the cars, the actual back of the car and in the front. And that's and the moon comes in through the window, so they're still getting it.
That's true. Now, this is again, I'm going to ask you all the myths that I've heard because you're the experts and I don't know this. But is it true that malachite and citrine are two stones that don't need to be cleared?
Okay, we've all discussed this because this is one of our pet peeves. We believe that there are certain crystals that do not need to be cleared as much, but still need to be cleared.
All right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I would clear malachite. If you don't clear it, will break.
Yeah.
Oh,
malachite actually holds on to a lot of energy, so
it needs to be cleared often. Out of all the crystals, citrine too. Citrine is not one of the crystals I would say is one that it needs never to be cleaned. It needs to be cleaned.
Oh,
kyanite is a good example of a crystal that doesn't need to be cleaned. And kyanite can actually clean your other crystals for you.
I'm sorry, which one was that?
Kyanite, blue kyanite.
Okay. I'm writing this down.
That's a crystal that doesn't have to be cleaned, although, as Lourdes said, we highly recommend that you clean all of your crystals. And it doesn't have to be, if everybody's so busy nowadays, it can be hard to find the time, or if you have a lot of crystals, to bring them all outside during the full moon. It can be really hard to find that time. So there's lots of different options. And we have a lot of this on our website, too.
Excellent.
You can use candles. You can smudge. A lot of crystals like to be buried in dirt.
Really? Okay.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's where they came from.
Exactly.
So that will renew them and revive them and clear them of any past energies. I like to use intention. So a lot of times I will just wave my hand over. When I get a new crystal, I like to hold it in my hand and feel its energy, let it get to feel my energy. And I'll just ask for the higher good of myself and the crystal that all past energies be cleared and sent out into the universe as a positive force.
Right. Mm-hmm. I clear mine with Reiki energy sometimes.
Yeah.
Reiki works. Sound also works, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So vibration?
Vibrations, drumming, tuning forks, singing bowls, chimes, all of that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now, what about water? Can you, or if you were talking about leaving them under the moon in the water, what about if you leave a pitcher of water outside under the moon and then just pour the water that's got the moon, the full moon on it? Would that work?
We don't really recommend using water. And here's why. Water can damage a lot of crystals.
Okay.
I mean, I've had people that will say to me, "Oh, my crystal really likes the water. That's what I feel is best." That's fine. And it's similar to sunlight too. Just so long as you're aware that prolonged exposure to elements like water and sunlight can damage your crystal.
Oh, that makes sense. So if you're leaving your crystals out into the windowsill, don't leave them there for 5 days so that the sun is baking down on them during the day, right?
Okay. Exactly. It's going to fade your crystal. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What about using, well, thank you, ladies. That was very informative. So I'm sure all the listeners out there are learning something new, too, or hopefully if they knew part of it but didn't know all of it. So what about using crystals in grids? Do you ladies want to share information about that?
I'm really a grid user. If there's a chance for me, I have a grid in every room. Grids help to intensify and amplify your intention.
Mm-hmm.
And Tara and I have both used grids to get the cars we want.
Yes. Not just the cars, but just anything. I mean, that's the beauty of a grid. I think besides the fact that you're focusing the energy, you're charging it with a specific intention, you're also working with your crystals, and the more that you work with your crystals, the more benefit you're going to feel.
Now, there might be some listeners out there that don't know what a grid is. Could you explain actually how to make a grid or what a grid is?
A grid is a geometric pattern, and depending on the pattern, it can help focus your intentions. So let's say you want to have peace in all aspects of your life. You may want to use a circle. And let's say you want to bring in abundant prosperity. You might want to use the infinity symbol. If you're trying to focus, you may do a triangle or a pyramid. I have a page, it's called Lourdes Healing Crystals Grids on Facebook, where I start with an intention and I break down all the steps on how to make a grid.
Okay.
And it's for anybody who doesn't know how to make a grid, it's like, I don't know how to make it, or I don't have the crystals. Well, when I make the grids, I make it with the intention that it goes to anyone who may want that energy and may not have the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's great. No, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Your grids a lot of people think, they have to be very big and they have to be very involved. They don't. I have a cat. So I do not have big grids set up because he's just going to, cat. He's just going to roam right through. So I have a lot of small grids, and they work wonderfully for me. Okay. I will have a grid with maybe, I usually like to use the number 6. So I usually try to set up grids with maybe 6 crystals in them, one in the center, and then the rest on the outside. Sometimes I'll have them pointing out. Sometimes I'll have them in a circle. I like to follow my instincts as I'm building it, but it doesn't have to be. I think a lot of people get nervous and think, I've got to have a pattern. I have to have this. You don't.
Is there a particular crystal, do you have to use clear quartz, or can you use can you use a combination of different crystals in your grid?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. Clear quartz is a nice addition to any grid because it amplifies the energy.
Right.
But it's not necessary.
Okay. So say I have this really gigantic piece of clear quartz and I put that in the middle. I could make a grid by putting that in the center and putting different stones around it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And that would amplify all the other different stones. I like that idea. Okay.
Yes. And if you don't have the crystals, one way that Tara and I in one of our videos mention is we use the cards.
Yep.
You can use the cards instead of the crystals.
Healing crystal cards, yep.
Yes, and we're going to use those at the end of the show. We're going to do a reading with the healing crystal cards. So you actually sell on your website, you sell their oracle cards, right? The crystal divination cards?
Oracle cards, affirmation cards, educational cards. They are so versatile. You can do so much with them.
Yeah.
Okay. They're beautiful. They're very descriptive, too.
Yeah.
Cards are excellent if you want to put a grid someplace other than your home, like your office, maybe you can't have a bunch of crystals on your desk at work, but you can put these cards under your computer or under your printer. I do that at work.
Okay, that's a great idea. And people can find this on your Facebook page or on your website?
Yeah. Yes, they're on our web. All they have to do is search cards, and they will find them.
Okay, perfect. And again, that's healingcrystals.com. So, wow, that's very, very informative. I love it. I love learning new things, and I love crystals, so this is great. What about certain crystals that can energetically protect? Is there I know did we talk about that before?
Well, we talked about grounding and protection. Now, for the home, if we're talking about that, there are a lot of different things you could do. I like gridding my entire space with black tourmaline. If you have a home, you may want to do the front of the yard, one in each corner, and the back, the same thing. If you have an apartment, maybe you just want to do the four corners of the apartment with black tourmaline. I right now gridded not only with black tourmaline, but I used coal. People don't realize coal has energy just like all the other minerals.
No kidding.
Yes, so think about it. It's made out of carbon.
I just think of it as being in a stocking for Bat at Christmas. I didn't realize it had other uses.
No, it has good energy.
It has good energy. It's very protective. You could put crystals on your windowsills.
Yeah. Now, I use rose quartz because that's just the one. I like to have rose quartz on all my windowsills. Is there a different stone or for energetically protecting? I know that you just gave me some suggestions as well. Does it matter which stone, or again, do you go by intuition or?
No, see, I believe you can follow your intuition. Rose quartz is very protective. I like to use clear quartz. I have clear quartz that sit on my front porch, and I call those my guardians. Those three, they are always there, and they are protecting my home.
Yeah, I like to sleep with rose quartz under my pillow, too. I have one under the bed, under the actual bed itself, and I keep one under my pillow, and I usually keep my hand on it while I'm sleeping. So it's it's one of my favorite stones.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah, that is nice. I have multitudes of crystals under my pillow, and then, of course, I lose them at night.
Yeah, I know. You find them on the floor.
Yeah, but it is good to sleep with them. That's another thing. People don't realize a lot of people have nightmares. Mm-hmm. Having crystals on your pillow may be able to help energetically with those nightmares.
Right. Now, and what about... Go ahead, sorry.
They can also help you with falling asleep. If you have trouble falling asleep, quieting your mind to get rid of that chatter that's going on in your head. Crystals are wonderful for that. I keep a Chrysocolla next to my bed for that.
Yeah, and I heard howlite. Is howlite good for insomnia or sleeping? Is that?
I like howlite.
I like howlite for attunements, for Reiki attunements.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's so many uses for all of them. What about, I know we only have a couple more minutes till the next commercial break. The show's flying. What about if you were to pick your own, how do you use your intuition? You know what, let's save that for after the break, because I think that's going to take more than a couple minutes. But, all right, so we talked about how to use them in grids, how to clear them and energetically protect our house. Is there anything else in that realm of topic that you think would be important for listeners to know?
And I think Tara does the same. Mm-hmm. I like to send crystals off with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My son's got them in his backpack. Mm-hmm.
Or throw a card in with their lunch box.
Yes.
Oh, the cards, right? Because then that way it won't get lost. Yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. That's a great idea. And now I wanted to ask you this too, because I'm looking around. As I'm looking around here, I can see stones everywhere in my house. What about? I keep selenite above my doors too. Is that good for protection in your house? Like a little piece of selenite above your doors?
Above the door, behind picture frames, inside of vases, whatever feels right to you. I do all of those.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you can't go wrong. When you think about it, think of any entryway into your house, whether it's a fireplace, a side door.
Right.
All of those are good places to put crystals.
Your sinks, okay. Lourdes and I keep crystals in our sinks to cover the drain.
Yes.
Really? Which ones do you put in there?
For me, I like black tourmaline. Here we go again.
I like green calcite in my bathroom sinks.
And of course, we don't run water when we have them in there. We just keep them there.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great idea. What about in a car? Would there be a particular stone that you could think like while you're driving for protection while people are driving?
Oh, yes.
I have a lot in my car.
I'm just thinking how many crystals I have in my car right now.
Exactly. So am I. I have, of course, black tourmaline, hematite, tiger's eye.
I like labradorite for traveling.
Yes.
I like labradorite in my car.
And I keep pyrite for focus.
Mm-hmm.
These are great ideas. I have a little pouch that I take around with me, but I think I'm actually going to make I have a little section in the center console of my car. I think I'm going to go and put a few stones there after the show.
That's where I keep mine, yes.
These are great tips, ladies. Thank you thank you for sharing with the listeners. So we're going to stop here and take another quick commercial break. If you're wanting to find out more about the show, you can, if you're not able to listen to us today live, the show will be broadcast on iTunes. It'll be on, you can get it on the podcast. Right on my host page, there's a link for all the different places you can listen. You can get not an iTunes. You can get a Stitcher app or the Voice America app, and you can listen to these shows anytime you want, any other time. And you can reach me at lisawillette@comcast.net to send me any comments that you'd like to share with us about the show. So we'll be back in just a quick moment.
This is the Seventh Wave Channel on the Voice America Network.
Lisa Ouellet is honored to assist you as you move forward from imprisonment to empowerment. Individual intuitive sessions are available in person, by telephone, or via Skype. Visit www.lisawillette.com. While there, you can also find information about 1 hour and half-hour Reiki sessions, life coaching, and tuning into your intuition classes. These classes will help you learn to trust your intuition and tune into yourself more easily. Mention that you heard about us on Empowering Your Soul and receive 10% off your next session. Visit lisawillette.com today.
These days, everyone is looking for information on staying young, healthy, and fit. The Voice America Health and Wellness Network is here to help you on your quest to better health and a better you. We talk about everything from diet, fitness, and aging to substance abuse, personal growth, mental health, and much more. Learn from our experts who cover health and wellness from traditional and holistic perspectives. Tune in to the Voice America Health and Wellness Network. Healthy living starts here.
The Voice America Seventh Wave Channel.
You are listening to Empowering Your Soul. To reach Lisa Ouellet, you may send an email to lisawillette@comcast.net. That's lisawillette@comcast.net. Now, back to Empowering Your Soul.
Welcome back to Empowering Your Soul. Today is such an exciting show. We have healingcrystals.com with us. We're talking with Lourdes and Tara, and they're sharing all this information about crystals. I thought I knew a lot about crystals, but I'm realizing that there's so much more I didn't know, and I'm actually excited about it because after the show, I'm going to be going out and going onto their website and purchasing some crystals now. There's definitely some ones that they've talked about that I'm definitely was writing down ones that I want to get. So, and ladies, you also have a showroom, right? It's not only just online at thehealingcrystals.com. You were telling me on the break that you have a showroom. Would you share with the audience where that is or how they could?
Our showroom is in Sterling, Virginia, on Shaw Road, and it's near Dulles Airport. It's only maybe 5 minutes from the airport.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if you're in that general vicinity and you want to stop in, you can always go to the showroom and see them in person, and you can use your intuition to kind of pick the stone or let the stone choose you. Or you can always go to their website directly, healingcrystals.com, and again, let the stone through the computer, through let the stone choose you that way or choose your stone that way. They have so much more. They have metaphysical crystals. They have resources and information. You can connect with them on the, again, I listed all of the different ways to get hold of them. They have so many, they're out there in so many different places. So there's not going to be a lack of getting in touch with them.
No,
So,
and we do ask that if someone is planning to stop by, to please call up our number, and we will have someone there just to be a personal shopper for them.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And in lieu of the show today, you were giving away you had a special discount code. So for listeners out there, the special discount code was HC Empower. So HCEMPOWER. And that's a coupon that gives the user 10% off and a free medium large tumbled, was it leopard skin jasper?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a rare gift. We don't usually give those away. They're harder to find.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful crystal, the leopard skin jasper. Very nice.
Okay, and that's good through how long?
That is good through the end of the year.
Excellent, listeners. So today is October 10th. You jump on that today. You probably want to get them before they're all sold out.
Yes.
All right. So I want to make sure that we touch base on relationships or love stones before the show ends. I love, my personal favorite is rhodochrosite. I just love wearing that. Is that a good stone to attract love or to attract relationships, or what do you guys think?
I like rhodochrosite for self-love. A lot of people, because I get this question all the time, what's the crystal that's going to help me find the man or woman of my dreams? And the truth is, a crystal's not going to help you find the man or woman of your dreams.
Oh, come on, don't squash everybody's dreams.
Wait, Lisa, wait. It's okay. What a crystal is going to do, it's going to help you to love yourself better. It's going to help you to be able to attract the right people to you.
Very true. Very true.
And that I think is what rhodochrosite is excellent for. That it helps you to be your very best self.
Okay, so there's truly then no soulmate stone or no twin flame stone or no particular stone then that you ladies know of that is going to, if you wear it, the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams is going to round the corner the next day, right?
Well, that's just my personal opinion. I mean,
And I agree with Tara. No stone is going to do that. No stone's going to heal you. They allow to release
job. No.
Yes, it doesn't. But what they do is they help bring in the vibrations or the frequencies you may need to balance your aura to attract what you need.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So morganite is a good one.
Oh,
if you are trying to attract love.
Okay.
That vibration.
Is also nice.
Yes.
Which one?
Kunzite.
Morganite, kunzite, rose quartz, the pink stones. You mentioned rhodochrosite. I agree with Tara. I think it's good for self-love and for loving your inner child.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. For letting that inner child out so that other people can see, who you really are. Mm-hmm. Another really nice crystal for relationships is garnet.
Oh, okay.
That's very nice if you're in a relationship. I think that's very good for, commitment and for family and that kind of thing.
Is it? And one of your favorites is pink tourmaline.
Oh, I love pink tourmaline. What I like about pink tourmaline is that, and because I'm a woman, obviously, I like that it brings out my feminine side because I can be, and Lourdes knows this, I can be a little aggressive sometimes. So I need to be toned down a little bit, and I think pink tourmaline does that for me.
Okay.
It makes me a little gentler.
That's good. These are good tips, and I'm writing them all down. I'm gonna be shopping on your website after the show. All right. So we talked about how people can get the discount using the Empower code. Talked about relationships. We talked about healing, which ones would be good for spiritual issues. What else is there anything else that you can think of that would be important? We talked about grids. I think I'm going through my mind thinking, what has anybody asked me recently about when I told them I was doing this show? Energetically protecting relationships. Now, what about What about if you're trying to, if you have, I think we talked about this. I think this would be a workplace thing. If you had like a negative person that was coming at you at like a workplace thing. But again, I think that is covered in the protection stones that we talked about earlier.
One thing I want to suggest is people ask how to get rid of the negative energy in their homes.
Yeah.
And what I always tell them is, first you have to clean physically. And this is the one where I hear all the groans. But unfortunately, negative energy is stagnant energy. And if you have corners where you've never dusted, it's going to stay there. So if you've had an argument and you didn't do any cleaning or any saging or anything else, you're going to be stuck with that energy.
Wow,
So
that makes sense.
I'm sorry. So before you can get the energy out and clean it with a smudge stick or music or anything, you need to physically clean.
Okay. Well, that's not, I'm not liking that.
It can be a very grounding experience, so look at it that way.
Yes.
That's true. I'll kill two birds with one stone, right? I'll ground
there you
myself
go.
at the same time that I'm bringing in something positive. It's too funny. All right. So I guess one of the other things before we get to, we're going to do a reading at the end of the show. So with the healing, we're going to use the healing crystal cards, or I'm going to use the healing crystal cards today. And I think one of you ladies or both of you ladies are going to give us a little bit of a reading on that. And I think I would like to one last thing I would like to touch base on. We talked about clearing. We talked about the grids. But I'm wondering if there's a way, or if there's a particular stone that people could use to, if they're not, I guess, and I think we touched base on this, but if you're not feeling well, like if you're feeling like you're at your best, not necessarily that you have a particular ailment, but if you're feeling like your energy is kind of down, is there a stone that you could use to like lift your energy?
I like sunstone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like carnelian. I like citrine. I like pyrite.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Okay, any of the stones for the solar plexus and the sacral chakra I find are very helpful for that. And the other thing is, if you're not feeling physically well, one thing you may want to do is start using carnelian, because its vibrations help boost the vibrations of the immune system.
Carnelian is a wonderful crystal. It's one of those crystals that has so many uses and so many purposes. It's a really nice one for it's one of those ones that everybody, if you're interested in crystals, really should have.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking of, I guess where I was going with this in my head was that we have so many energetic and not energetic, that's not the right word. We have so many planetary influences happening to us. We're coming, right now we're in the Mercury retrograde period, and we have the eclipses. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, like, I know for me, I sometimes feel a little sluggish and I get tired during these times. There's a lot of solar flare energy. And that's what I was wondering, like, is there a particular stone that would help you with the feeling that sluggish energy while the planetary stuff is going on?
One thing.
You know what? Go ahead, Lourdes.
Grounding. I hate to say it, but I'm going to keep harping on it. You need to ground to pull up the earth energy when you're being bombarded with so much astrological energy.
Yeah.
True. Okay. So they say when you hear a message 3 times, you gotta do something about it. I guess I'm hearing the message loud and clear.
You know what? I think also with the planetary, besides grounding, it's a good time to relax. When Mercury goes retrograde, the universe is sending you a message to relax. Don't fight the traffic. Don't fight your computer. Just leave it and go do something else. You know what I mean? And because we're so, aggressive and we have things to do, we don't take that message. So I think using a crystal like lepidolite or lithium quartz, something to help you relax and just let the energy flow, can also be very helpful when you've got a lot going on up in the sky.
Okay, well those are good points. That makes a lot of sense. And is there one that you should carry around with you during all of this? I mean, I know you just, I heard what you were saying, and but I'm just wondering, like, I know this is kind of a joke with my girlfriends and I, but we all, in the metaphysical groups that we're in, a lot of times we'll we'll stick crystals like inside our bras, walk around with us on our skin, like especially when the planetary, stuff is happening. We're like, we want it as close to us as we can get it,
I like hematite.
That would be the one I would suggest is hematite. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So if you're listening out there and you're having I'm having a hard time speaking today. If you're having issues due to the planetary aspects affecting us, then we're being suggested to use hematite. Yeah. I'm not sure how you say it, but all right. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to do a real quick reading. I'm just going to pull a card here. You know what we're going to do today? I'm not going to do what your soul wants to know. I'm going to pull a card we have about 5 minutes left, and really quickly, I'm going to pull a card for the week ahead, and then one of you ladies can give a little reading on that. All right, so I'm shuffling using the Healing Crystals cards, and all right. I think one of you said that this was one of your favorites. I got Golden Tiger Eye. It says, I am filled with warmth and light. And it says
perfect for this time of year, too. Go ahead.
Okay.
Liz.
So do you want to let us know what that can do for us for this week ahead, for the week from 10/10 to 10/17?
Well, for me, I'll be quick, it means you need protection. Okay. Right off the bat, you may need some more extra energetic protection, but you may also want to focus on your solar plexus.
Okay. Which is your third chakra?
It says to me it's a good time to stay home, do things that you enjoy, and relax. That's what Tiger's Eye means to me.
It's about, isn't it? It's also about creativity, right? Which is what you're talking about your third chakra, your solar plexus.
Creativity, power. Think about tigers. Okay. It's definitely power.
Yep.
Okay. So it's here, and this card says that it's the third eye and the solar plexus chakra. I did not realize that. Okay.
It can be because think of it as a tiger's eye. A tiger is very vigilant. It keeps track of things.
And both your third eye and your solar plexus are going to send you messages. That's your gut reaction is your solar plexus.
This is true. Using your intuition and tuning into your intuition. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been quite the informative show for me. I think I'm going to have to make sure that there's enough money in my checkbook after when I want to go shopping for the website. All right. So I'm going to thank you, ladies, again for being here on the show with me today. This is healingcrystals.com. Tara Mideaker and Lourdes Lebron. They're both from Healing Crystals. And again, you can catch them. Go to their website, and HC Empower is the code that gives you 10% off and get a free medium large tumbled leopard skin jasper. This sounds like something that everybody would want to jump on before, like I said, before it goes away. So thank you, ladies, for being so informative here with me and giving so much information to hopefully the listeners really did get to realize, their potential for joy and realize which crystals can help them. And I think you gave a lot of great information about grids and clearing and protecting. So I'm very happy that you chose to be on the show with me today. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Lisa. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks. And next week, we're going to have as a guest Cherie Burlington. She's a mother who lost her 19-year-old son to a motorcycle street racing accident. And she's going to be talking about learning forgiveness and compassion after a tragic loss. And this is a show you're not going to want to miss. She's a very inspirational lady, and she's definitely got a lot of great information to share. And make sure you tune in on 10/17. And today was a great show. Thank you so much for listening in, everybody, and have a great weekend. TGIF.
Thank you for listening to Empowering Your Soul. Please be sure to join Lisa Ouellet for another engaging program next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, noon Eastern Time on the Voice America 7th Wave channel. This week, stop feeling imprisoned and start being empowered.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program brought to you on the 7th Wave Network. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit 7thwavenetwork.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the hosts or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.